interesting episode of Amazing Amazon on Captain TV. Yes, it's another beautiful weekend to have me here on your screen. Yes, today is going to be great. I want you to call your friends, your sisters and your brothers, everyone, and tell them it's about to get started. Welcome on board. I am Tosin Adeyemi. It was International Widows' Day a few weeks back, and in Nigeria we've heard stories of how some widows are made to struggle or suffer once they lose their husband. So for this reason, there is more we need to do in taking care and treating the widows properly. Some individuals and organizations have taken it up upon themselves to make sure that widows are being catered for. So I will be having a conversation with an NGO practitioner that focuses on widows, taking care of widows and those that are women who are in need, especially widows. So join me on the interview segment. Yeah, welcome to the interview segment. So today I would be speaking with an NGO practitioner that focuses on widows. Yes, she runs an initiative for widows here in Lagos, Nigeria. So I'll be speaking with her this evening in person of Mrs. Edu Adetoun. So nice to have you.
You are welcome, my dear sister.
Thank you so much for allowing us.
Thank God.
Okay, so yeah, you run an initiative for widows, but first I would like to know more about you. Viewer also would like to know more about you. So can you please tell us more about you?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
As you said from the beginning, my name is Mrs. Edu Adetoun.
Yeah.
Ne Adekoya Waleat Adetoun. I'm from Ekpe, Lagos State. Both parents, they were from Ekpe too. So I got married to my husband in 1991. I have 6 kids, but by the grace of God, remain 5. So my husband is a very caring man. He doesn't allow me to work because I'm too ugly. So he doesn't want another man.
Okay, irony.
To take me away from him. So I went to Erepoto Primary School. After my primary 6, I went to Ekpe High School. After Ekpe High School, I couldn't further more. I got married. So my husband promised me that when I told him, I said, I'm still want to further more in my education. He said, no problem about that. Okay. But a friend of my husband, Mr. James Okola, he came here one evening and he saw me. My husband said, who is this? My husband said, that's my new wife. He said, well, what about her? My husband just explained a little to him.
Yeah.
He said, no, don't. If this one go to school, she won't marry you again. You know, then blood of a young girl is still on me.
Yes.
So I stood at the back of the door. I heard everything. I have to come out. I said, Daddy, why did you say my husband should not do that for me? I said, no. He said, no. I didn't say that. I'm just explaining to him. Anyway, later my husband concluded that you can't further your education.
Oh, just because of what his friend said. Oh.
So when I told my mother said, you need to take it like that. That at least when you get children for him, this man said he is ready to take care of your children. And to glory be to Almighty Allah, my husband really tried for my children. And he fell sick on March 4, 2009. He gave up the ghost on the 5th of August, 29. So after the money of him, 2010, I joined the politics. I started going up and down. But then, because when my husband was alive, he doesn't allow me to work. Because of those, my age outside, he doesn't want them to snatch me from him. So, thanks to Almighty Allah, when I started the politics, we are going up and down. Just one day, when the chairman of local government said he wanted to give widows something. So somebody called me. I went to the Kushofe local government. On my way getting there, I was surprised. A woman that have a husband at home, she still called herself a widow. And I called them. I said, Madam, why? But you are staying with your husband. That's a dead man.
Dead man living.
I said, how? He said, I'm the one that feeding the family. I'm the one that taking care of the. I'm the breadwinner of the family. I said, it doesn't matter, and God will continue to bless you. He said, no, me bell. Okay, I just called a woman and said, please, ma, I wanted to gather widow. How can I do it? The woman's name is Mrs. Yabo Adesanya Sabino. So she said, okay, that when we go to meeting, I can mention it. So when I get to meeting, I mention it. Some little people raised their hand. They asked me, where are they doing the meeting? I said, at number 13, Idera Street. So I gave them Tuesday evening. On that Tuesday, to my surprise, they came here. We started from this sitting room. We are just 7 in number. Mrs. Olowu, there's 1, 2 mama, they are late now. So later, Mrs. Omoya Jowo, Araba, Mama Mutiata Araba, you know, all those mama, they stood by me. They said, Edu, don't worry. When it reaches that time, I wanted to withdraw. They said, no. No. Oh, Lishebe, oh. That we should continue doing it little. When it reaches that time, I'm counting of 300 people.
Widows.
Of course. So I have to raise hand one day. I said, please, what we are going to do is that I want to see every one of you husband death certificates. You need to present it for me.
To be sure if they are all widows.
Of course. So, you know, when I mentioned that, some run back. So why some that are real widows, they stood. Okay, we continue until 2013. Mrs. Omoya Jowo and my friend, Yashegun, there is a woman, they call that Mama Yalepa. She's staying at Anthony Dem. 3 of them gathered, they said, they just call me that fateful day. They said, hey, there's one woman that wants to see me at a K2, and she's an NGO. I said, okay, but I'm not around now. The woman said, whenever I'm around that, I should come. So later, I now went there. We started managing together. Well, later, you know, when things is too much, you won't understand who is true, who is right. So later I discovered that these people, there's some women, they don't want progress for others. You know, we went there for prayer, but they have changing it to something else. I started step back. So later, I went to Alhaji Awofeso, is my boss. Alhaji Awofeso said, the only help he can do from Alhaji Awofeso is the secretary to CDC in Koshofe local government. He now said, if I can work with child protection, that they don't pay them salary. To bá ti lè máa manage at least to bá rí ibi tó bá ti rape ọmọ, you wàá mú wọn lọ sí police station, wàá ṣe gbé. So when I started doing that thing, you know, there was a day that a man, we catch a man, somebody just called me that, hey, wow, almost 10 years, neighbor ẹ̀ ló bá sùn, kíníkan. The neighbor slept with that 10 years old girl. I have to go down to the streets. When I got there, I called a police that is in charge of the child protection network. So the lady came, Inspector Aisha, so we arrest the man to the police station. So later, I took the girl to the Mirabel. They searched the girl, they confirmed me that it is true. So from there, they took the man to court. So once the man is already in court, I'm going to withdraw hand.
Okay.
So that is how it is.
Before you go further, I would like to take you back a bit. You said before you lost your husband, because the essence of this interview for people to also learn. Yes. Before you lost your husband, you were not working.
I'm not working.
Just because, not because you do not want to work, but just because your husband said
My
no.
husband said I should take care of the children.
Yes, and he was providing,
of course,
for your needs. Okay, so after the demise of your husband, how were you coping? How were you surviving?
It's not easy. It is not easy at all. You see, after the death of my husband, I look up. My mom, younger sister, she's a matron at a general hospital, Island. So she always come here then. She would tell me, Adetoun, Maron Kokon, God is going to take care of everything. And I said, Alaja, my husband didn't allow me to work from the beginning. What am I going to do? Alaja, we said, Ma, you don't need to put that one on mind. Don't worry, God will do it. My own is I just face your God. So I continue praying. Then from there, a lady at my opposite house here came in. They are not no more living in this area now. She used to cook for party catering.
Okay.
So there was a day they wanted to work. I just called her and said, please, Kemi, can I work with you? She said, won't this way? Are you sure you can cook? I said, why? He said, the work that you are not doing before. I said, don't worry about that. I will surely do. So when I started cooking with her, we are using their compound. Later, the landlord said she doesn't want something like that. I said, come to my compound. So we started cooking here. We may cook from evening to the next morning. So we are managing until they pack out of this area. So then after the catering work, I will go for cleaning of the house. There's some women in my mocks, which they need somebody to clean house for them.
They're just doing menial jobs.
So I was just picking it
different jobs.
So that's how I'm managing myself.
So you now decided that okay. Now your children, they're all grown ups now.
Now, yes.
Yes. So you were doing that. Then how old were they?
My last one was 10 years when my husband gave up.
Okay.
That's my 10 years last born. He just finished primary 6 then. So he wanted to enter the secondary school.
Okay.
But there's no way. But that my husband's friend, Mr. James, he has a daughter at abroad. So that auntie used to call me. I told her that,
yeah, to further the education of the children.
She said I should send my account. So she sent the money to me. So I went to the school to go and pay for them. So thank God, everything was all right. My last one was now on April 25th. He clocked 2024.
Wow. So, now you're now eating the fruit of your labor.
Of course. My second son is a naval officer.
Oh.
He's the one that I had accidents on December period and November last year. But glory to Almighty Allah. God has done a wonderful job. In fact, if they told you that this boy leg broke, you won't believe it. Wow. Because I don't know how God did it. I was just crying all the time. Ọlọ́run, mi ò fẹ́ kọ́mọ mi kankan di aláàbọ̀ ara. Má fi àdúrà dójú tì mí. And alhamdulillah, God really did it for me.
Wow, thank God. I'm so happy about that. So now let's talk about the initiative. Now, ever since you lost your husband, you said you've been trying and help has been coming from left and right.
Yes.
Have you, or did you experience a kind of pressure? Like, because we've seen situation whereby when a woman lost her husband, yes, the husband's family will pressurize the wife, like chase the wife out of the house. Oh, you killed your husband,
Yes.
this and that. Did you experience any of those pressures?
None of my husband's family accusing me of killing my husband. But my husband's first son, when his father was alive, he behaved as a good son to him. Even to me and my children, sometimes he will pay for my children lesson fees. It doesn't bother how much they were paying. But after the death of his father, he changed everything. Because before my husband late, he told me that Abdelatif is the head of the family. Please, whatever my children did for you, don't ever cause them with your hearts. Just take them as just what they did for you is just an ordinary, just a mistake, something. So the pillar of this house, my husband gave it to me. He told me to give it to his son after he departed. So I did it. I gave it to him. After a year, my husband's son said, my husband has already wrote his will before he was late. So after 2 months that my husband late, they shared the property. While I'm living here with my husband, with my children. So this place belonged to me and my children. Then my husband's son said, where they share for me, I must not collect a penny from there.
Why?
And I needed money for my children. And he didn't give my children anything. The money that my husband have in the account, he has stepped on it. He said, a penny cannot come out for me. He took me to court. But thank God to Almighty God. God really working. So when we get to the magistrate court at Igbochiri, the magistrate, they gave him our file. And he said, this is family matter. Why are they bringing this here? Please pack it to one side.
In your home.
So that is how my husband first son just drove away. I didn't know where about him. So my son said, Mommy, Daddy Wale Mat is silent. I said, just leave him. So thank God. Upon that, I didn't see...
He ran away with the money?
Oh, everything was with him now.
Wow.
So, but I didn't let that one to weak me.
Okay.
You understand? But my husband's younger brother and sisters, they were at his back because he has money.
Oh.
When they ask him, he will give them. But for me and my children, they were still little. Where am I? Even my mother was saying, Abi want to remarry. With all these soldiers? No, me, I'm not remarrying. No, I want to be with my children. My husband promised me before he left that if you want to remarry, you can go. But if you want to still remain in this house with your children, you can have your fun outside and come back home. Whatever you like, you can do. But don't take my children to anywhere. If not, so after the death of my husband, I will take my children to Ghana. I'll go and base there. But once my husband has signed it down, that I should not take the children. In fact, he called the landlord opposite us here that, please, I may say it is time and I may still live long. I may say it is not the time. I may give up now. Don't tell this woman that she should not take my children out of this house. So, even my husband's children, I married an old man. So the children that he first had, there was a day all of them gathered together, they were shouting here. I just told them, I said, it's 1,000 naira that I owe you people. When I give it to boys will smoke, they will drink, they will deal with you people. They say, So when they were still shouting there, that my second son was coming. Then they were at that Ikorodu side. So those people that are stealing fuel then.
Yeah.
So they post him there. So my son was coming with his friend. They were in Kamo. They didn't know. They said,
They asked called the police.
So it was a lady that stood there then said, it's your brother now. You don't know. I said, Abiola Wambi, Lekiwani. That one said, they might respect around you, uniform them over a castle. So when my son came up, he said, Mommy, why are you fighting with my stepsisters? I said, I didn't fight them. Thank God my first son is around. He said, Mommy did not fight with them. They were just disturbing themselves. So, I have a heart that when you do something for me, I will let you know and it's off. Everything is off. You understand me? So that is the kind of person that I am. I passed a lot of
challenges.
Of course, after the death of my husband. But alhamdulillah, today...
but what kept you going? Like, what kept you stronger?
I believe, I put my trust in God. And that God did not disappoint me. You understand me? I pray in time. I went to mosque. When it is time for fasting, I did it. Even when it's not time for fasting, I put myself on fasting just because of my children. When you have boys, you need to work hard because of them. You understand? Boys nowadays, you can't just say, what it be one, I want normal. No. You need to be talking to them. So I couldn't let any work to take my time. Most of the time, when I went out, come back, I was like, Kilushele, call me.
What happened to them?
Wow, please, I don't want you people. I don't want any one of you to quarrel with anybody. Please, this life is very simple. So, by the grace of God, God is going to lift every one of you. I give glory to Almighty God today. Those children, they put smile on my face. Because last week, Wednesday, was my birthday. My children stood by me. Wow. They rubbed me. They said, Mommy, won't you cook? I said, no, I'm not cooking. But I would like to get a bag of curry. I shared it for my widow. I said, but I have just token change. I said, okay. So they call themselves together. They get the money for me. They get a bag of curry for me. I shared for them. Yeah. You can say that they really put a smile on my face. Yeah. That one alone is okay.
Enough. It's a joy on its own. Okay, now before we continue, we'd like to go for a break. But when we return from the break, I want you to tell us how the journey of creating this initiative and what motivated? Is it because you're a widow, that's the reason why you created it? What inspired you? Because to create an initiative like this, you also need funds.
Of course.
Funds is so important. So right now, viewers, stay with us. We'll go on a short break. So when we return, we'll talk more. We'll be back. All right, so welcome back. It's still the interview segment. So before the break, you were talking about, you gave us the storyline of how you have been surviving since you lost your husband. Now, I would like to ask you, what motivated you to start up this initiative for widows? Or is it because you are a widow?
Thank you very much. You know, as earlier, I said my children, they were still young, still little when their father gave up the ghost. But you know, I'm not working.
Yeah.
You know how it's going to be difficult for a woman that does not work and the husband just gave up. What I passed through. So when I see a woman like myself said, ọkọ mi ti kú, èmi àtàwọn ọmọ mi, àjẹun sùn lálẹ́ àná. Ẹnìkan ló tiẹ̀ fún wa ń gàrí kan jẹta, òun la mu láàárọ̀. You know, my heart will just beat. Say, okay, ẹ má worry, Ọlọ́run máa ṣe. And I said, Ọlọ́run máa ṣe, God will surely do it. Now, don't worry, God is going to do it. So, you see, what I have passed through, when a woman like me explained to me that we didn't see anything to take care of the children, I will open my wardrobe, give them clothes. I will tell my people that, please, I need to assist my widows. My widows, they needed help. Whatever you have. A brother of mine, Mr. Alari Seriki, a friend of my son, Baba Leah, he always give me a bag of rice. Those two people, sometimes rice, sometimes another items, they'll bring it down here. Mommy, Egba, Eba, I found a widow. Mommy, Egba, she my manage you. You may look one lady feto, and you people should not worry. I will share the food. So when we share it, you know, those widows they will be looking at me, Miss Edu, you no. Once you people will be satisfied, that is my joy. And my children will tell me, Mommy, why are you doing like this? They gave you something and you share everything for your widow. I said, that is my joy. If I see them, they're happy, I'm happy. If I see my widow, they were saddened, I'm saddened. So just leave it. I know we can avoid to get our own with our money. You know, when I started running this widow, a mommy in politics, the woman looked at me that I'm a very agile lady. The mother just called me that, please, Edu, go down low. The next thing they called me and they said, Miss Edu, you are woman leader of our ward. I said, woman leader. I said, okay, very simple. But I used to tell my widow, whoever brought something for me, whether I like it or not, I will call like 2, 3. Because I have some committee that when they give me something, I will call them, hello mama, mbolewa, Emma Bolodom. So when they came, I would tell them, look at this thing. Somebody gave it to us. And báwo she mark me. Yeah, I know Nikepe. Most of the time, I share something here. I will just sit down there. Me kukunitizing. No, let me leave them at your mission. Doesn't matter. But yeah, maybe they gave me a bag of salt, a bag of rice, a bag of gari. I will share it down. I will call out of the widows. Ma bon lemi, afedi awon koko. Especially Mrs. Akon Shakirat. Ya imam Emma Bolodo mi o. E je ka di kini. Me fẹ́ kó di pé tí gbogbo wọn bá dé. So once we pack it down, when they came, I would just give them the message. Somebody give us something. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàdúrà fún wọn. So they use prayer to help those people that are giving us something most of the time. Because whoever put hand in his pocket and buy something, give it to a widow, he will surely return from the Almighty God. Not anybody, but God will surely return it back to him that, you make my wife to smile. I'm going to surprise you with a good thing. So that is it.
So now this initiative, how many widows have benefited from this.
You can see them. They can tell them themselves. So I know they haven't built a house, but to put food on table and put hand in their mouth, I know God is doing it for them. Because most of them, there was a time, a friend of mine, the younger one stayed at London. You know, she's a Muslim sister. She sent money to me during the COVID-19 period that I should buy rice, beans, gari, spaghetti, vegetable oil, indomie. I should share indomie for children. I should share the gari, rice, and beans for the widows and the spaghetti. Oh, they were so happy. Come and see them that day. They were so happy. They continued praying. And there was a time that somebody gave us 5 liters of vegetable oil for each widow with half bag of rice, a carton of indomie, you know, and 225 inside the envelope for them. Tell me, you that left home when you borrow money to enter transport to somewhere, and when you get there, you are surprised with what they gave me. You know, you are going to smile and so I thank God.
I know that you get support, but how do you get like financial assistance? Because I believe that to run an NGO like this, you need funds. So how do you source for funds? How do you get financial assistance? Who are the people you speak to that help the initiative?
You say for the funds?
Yes.
Most of the time, when I see that something was real up, don't let me sit down. I will call my children, whatever you have, come and give me. My widows, they need you. My brothers, my neighbors, I used to tax them. Come. If you give widows something, God is going to reward you well.
I was about to say that your children really in support of it, and they are always happy to
Of course. If I say I want to do, even my children, they call me about a month now. They say, Mommy, by the grace of God, when God bless me more than this, I'm going to surprise your widow. I say, you this small boy. He said, Mommy, you call me small boy. I'm not a big man. I say, I'm you. And that God is going to surprise you too with so many things in life. So I tax my boys in the streets, all those landlords' children, when I call them. Then there's some of a political member, like Honorable Gani Wakolawon. Sometimes I will call him, hello, Ogami, widow me, we need empowerment too. He promised us. And when he was doing this first time that they have not promoted to another term now, yeah, at least out of 7 wards in Koshofe local government, we picked two from each ward. Okay. And he empowered them with 25,000 naira. Tell me, whoever collects 25,000 naira, is it not good? Yes. Wow. Each person. So he really tried.
So now, looking at this initiative that you have started, have there been a particular point in time where you feel like, like you want to drop by, like you want to drop that? Are there challenges? Are there points whereby you feel like giving up the organization?
There's a lot of challenges, my dear sister, because there's a woman that I pick as my assistant. Okay. First time, second time, third time, they turned me down. I pick you as my assistant. Then we started the program. Little. So at the end of the day, I can see that you want me to fall down to take my post. Why? Even when they gave me woman leader post, I wanted to hand over the widow coordinator to my assistant. It was one of my sisters said, Auntie me, where did you see people do that? You want to give what you started
to another person.
She can't control it, because this woman, she will be arching with the widows. I said, no. These people, they were managing themselves. You can't force them to bring something. Whoever have should put it down. And I used to tell the widows, if your husband left house for you, you are not a widow, because you can eat, you can feed yourself. Yeah. There are some widows that they rented apartments
before their husband died.
And still yet they were staying in that apartment. When months end, landlord will knock their door.
Yes.
My house rent too. They will pay for NEPA bill. They will pay for cleaner in the compound. So
And they will not treat them differently. That maybe because they are widow, they
at
need
all,
to.
they will collect what they were collecting from others.
Others.
They're going to collect it from them. So I told her, but she doesn't want to understand. You see, so many widows, they were suffering. Even some women that they were not widows, they were suffering. In fact, let me say some widows, they will be able to enjoy where someone that's not widows are. Because I've witnessed some women that they are the breadwinner of the family. They will go down to my 12 to work there. They will go down to Lagos to work like horse. You see, but the man will stay at home. He will stay comfortable. When you get to the house, you will meet them where they were playing drafts. And your wife gave birth to 4 or 5 children for you. You can't afford to give the children feeding money to school. And you call yourself a man. May the Lord help them and touch their hearts. Because when those children grown up, that is why you see some family, the children will love their mother
more than their father.
One day they will say, you want to forget me. It's not like that. Just because what the woman passed through before the children grown up. The children, they were seen. But they can't complain then. It is when they get a stage that they will say, Daddy, if mommy was still there, but before that time, a matter came to me yesterday. I told her, I said, look here, by the grace of God, God will send somebody that will help you to you. This man wanted to kill you. I said, before this year end, God will surprise you. Just go and cool down. Your wife have 4 children. You can't pay for school fees. You can't buy school bag. You can't buy them books. And you are still standing that you are the head of the family. We know that you are the head of the family, but do the right thing you're supposed to do for the children. May the Lord help us.
Yeah, I know. So, how long have you? How old is this NGO now?
My NGO clocked 10 years this year.
Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so now let's talk about. We have some women who are still younger. How old were you when you lost your husband?
When my husband died on
You were how old then?
29, I was 47 then.
You were 47 years then.
Yes.
And you were determined not to remarry. Now we have some widows.
No, sorry. I am 52 now.
Yes. You are 52 now.
Yes.
And you lost your husband 2009. That's how many years
I'm
now?
13 years ago.
That's 13 years ago. That's like 39.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like 39 years. Okay, so we have some those who are younger, like 30, in their 30s too. And so, do you have younger widows like that in your organization?
I have. At least I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3. I have a Moritala Bossed.
How old?
I think she's 35 now. I have a Tola Onleke Tola. She's 37, 36. I have a Banke Saliman. I think she's 30, something like that too.
Yeah.
So 3 of them. Banke, she's a photographer. While there is Betty, she will go there to go and snap and watch it. And then Tola Onleke, there's a program they did at Alausa some years, about 3 years now. So somebody just called me that I should send one widow name that is young. So I sent her name. They gave her a grounding machine. Okay. So Abba said she's a fashion designer. But with 3 kids, how many people are sewing clothes now?
And but like these younger ones, do they like don't you give them like option of like remarrying, like getting married again?
Thank you.
At least to reduce. I understand that widows who are older, like 50, 60, might not think towards that direction, but someone who is younger can always remarry.
Thank you very much, my sister. You see those younger widows, I've told them, even there's some of the widows that they are 42, 45.
Yeah.
When we call them together there, please, you can still get remarry.
Yeah.
Because of your children, so that somebody. So most of them, they have tried it, but it's not working. Those men will be waiting for them to work, and it will come back to their house to come and eat without putting a penny down. Do you think it's all women that can accept that? And so,
But this, it doesn't apply in all cases. We've seen women who lost their husband at early stage and still remarry. Luckily, we can still get some like that. And we also have widower who get married to a widow. We've seen situations like that too.
I have one widower who is just, I think Ramon is 30 something. He's not up to 40 years. But he has tried like 3 girls. You understand? But it's not working. So when he came to me, I said, look here, before you can further more relationship, any woman that you want to go out with, you need to let them know, look here, I want to marry you, not just dating. This is what I want. This is what I want. If you can cope with me, alhamdulillah. If you know that you cannot cope with me, anyway, you're free to go. But you see, for ladies, it's not easy like that. A man will be telling you that, be more for me, and you want me to be taking care of somebody's children. When you haven't given birth child for me, you want me to take care of the children that you brought from another. No. Because it happened to me. My mother was.
But I think there should be an agreement. You, as a widow, want to get married, or a widow, I want to get married to a widow. There should be an agreement between both of you that, okay, it's the man that will take care of both children.
You see, from my side, the person that I dated then is a chartered accountant.
Before your husband?
After the death of my husband.
Okay.
He's a chartered accountant. I have problem in their bank. That is when I got there. So he liked me and I like him. But you see those banker, they don't have time.
Okay.
We can stay for 2 years. We only talk on phone. We only contact ourselves. Hello, my wife, how are you? I said, this is the life that you are. How did your wife cope with you till all those children that God gave you? He said, it has mastered her. I said, hey, yeah, you want it to master me too now. I told him, I said, it will reach a time that I won't even have anything with man. Yes. Because now, he's already mastered me. When I'm staying for 6, 8, 1 year without man. Tell me. But I have a little secret which I won't open outside. We can about myself. So okay. That is it. I will tell you. Understand. You know, as a woman to woman.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the widows now. What measure are you putting in place to empower widows so they don't constantly depend on the organization for help? You know, I know that we get to see widow empowerment, and they still come back. But I believe that there should be like a measure you put in place whereby you empower widows and they don't constantly depend on the organization and they are independent.
You see, now, this man that is taker is here. He promised my widows, Abiodun Wokoya, Engineer Abiodun Wokoya. He said, may the Lord help him when he gets to that post. He's going to empower the widows, which, in fact, they won't come back for anything. Whenever they sit with the job that he created for them, they will be praying for him. You see, some of my widows, they were doing sweeper at the main road, which I don't like. Because when you reach a certain time, you will see some of them, they will start coughing, they will start having cold. Because of the dust that is passing. So, I'm begging God that God should send someone like Abiodun Wokoya. May the Lord put him to the right place that he wanted to go. You understand? Because he has promised them. And Honorable Okla, he said when he gets back there, he's going to do wonderful for them. Because a widow that they're empowering now, maybe they gave her a cooler, with maybe 20 crates of mineral that she should be selling. Then bottled water. You know, you cannot sell water and you will lose like for like because as you are selling, you'll be buying another one to join. Yeah. As you are selling, you'll be buying. So that type of business, no one will do it, and we lose this thing.
Okay, now I want us to talk about how individuals can ensure widows around them are treated well. Because we have so many people who don't really treat widows well. Just like you said, as a landlord, to be like this, and even in-laws, families, friends. So how do we ensure that individuals, every one of us, treats every widow around us well? How can we treat them well?
Thank you very much. You see, fingers are not equal, because what I have, you may not have. What you have, I may not have. Maybe I bought a 10 bag of curry. I wanted to do empowerment for my widows. I will give them one bags. And then I will tell them that, please, Mama, when you sell this curry, every day you are going to give me so amounts back. Okay. So by the time that she sold that curry finish, she has returned the money that is passing the money that I used to buy the thing. You understand me? So from there, I can be able to get another one again. From there, she can take another thing to join that market. You understand? She will be happy that, oh God, I thank you, these people. But she continued returning those money with little. And when month end, I will still return the money to her. Please take, go and use it to join your market. Then maybe she was tying the garri in 50, 100 naira. So later, she started selling sugar with it. She put groundnut. She put pure water. Tell me, is she not empowering? So that is it. So that is how themselves, they will be comfortable. They won't be disturbing me that I'm the coordinator. At least once in a while when I visit them, when that is it.
Okay. So now I want you to pass a message to widows who are watching us right now on what they can do to be financially independent, because it's so important, and what they can do as well.
Thank you very much, Ma. In my own area, I didn't mention it before. I just remember now. Can you know that when you reach a certain time, when we cook to a party at a Baja side, that one day, about 6 years now, when they started sharing the food, and there's a daddy ate the food, say, nice. How can I get the people that cook this food? So the auntie that I followed said, Mrs. Edu, come. Daddy wanted to ask you. No, I didn't call her. I said, this food is nice. Who make this food? He said, Daddy, she's the one that knows. You. It was that man that make me to know that I am black and shine. Because the way he talked, he said, we go for a gun or dead. Please, can I have your number? I would like you to come and cook in my house. So, and I started the working. And thank God, it's yield. But I've stopped it too.
Okay, so now pass a message to widows watching us at home. What would you like to say to them?
I would like to advise a widow like me that it is not when your husband died, it doesn't mean that the life is ended. You understand me? When you don't have husband, you can follow some step which is going to help you. Like mine. I didn't say I'm perfect. You understand? But a widow that doesn't have husband. All these old women, every one of them have what they were doing. Some of them were selling kerosene, some of them were selling plastic, some of them. You see, some of them were going to school to sell books, biro at the front of the gates, at the front of the school gates. And they were getting their own. Some of them were selling fruit. Some of them were selling a vegetable. for Ewedu.
At least they have something
At
they
least
are doing.
they were getting themselves busy. Not that because my husband is dying. Auntie, yeah, they were for me low.
We'll see some widows who, just because their husband has died, they will now become a beggar, begging.
It's wrong. It is wrong. There are some women that their husband is not dying. You know, I continue saying it.
Yes.
But they are the breadwinner of the family. If you help yourself, God will help you. Don't say because my husband is late, so I need to turn myself to a beggar. They don't tell a lot No,
or like to a prostitute, like jumping from one mat to another.
It won't help them. It will give them sickness. Because when this one slept with you, this one slept with you, at the end of the day, she will fall in sick. That's when your husband is late. Pack yourself. Whatever you want to do, face it. We see some widows, they were selling pure water at the main road. Still yet, God bless them.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your time on the show. Yes, yes, that was Mrs. Edu, also a widow who is doing well in initiative empowering widows as well. Yes, she has passed the message across that to every widow out there. You do not need to turn yourself to a beggar or someone who is like at the mercy of people. You can always gather yourself up and make sure you do something for yourself. You can actually get a skill, you can get a business of your own to help yourself. So just like she said, that helping helps those who help themselves. Okay, this is where we wrap up the interview segment. We'll take the quotes for today. Thereafter, we wrap up the show. Stay with us. We need to understand that taking care of widow is not the responsibility of just NGO practitioners that focuses on this sector, but it is a job of every individual out there. If you have widows around you, we need to care for them, we need to show them love, we need to make them realize that the situation where they have found themselves is not what they planned for. So for this reason, we need to show them love, just like the NGO practitioner has said. So this is the much we can take on today's episode of Amazing Amazon. Hope you've learned one thing or the other, and make sure that you show some love to widows around you. So till I come your way again next weekend, I remain your host, Tosin Adeyemi. Bye for now.